he's dipped as well. So all your big players, all your players that you're expecting and you were getting that little bit of magic from, for one reason or another, they're all having a dip at the same time. So consequently, I think it's only fair to say we're looking a dull side at the moment.
They're missing Tevez though as well, aren't they? The last 3 games has been a big miss. He's been in fantastic form this season, especially a game like Liverpool yesterday when you do need that little bit of magic.
Well,
to
he would have
lifted
the whole thing, I think, yesterday, just simply by the way he actually approaches the game. He can be having a bad game and he could still have affected that yesterday, just simply by running about. So, yeah, we are. But put the other things with it, and that's why we're on... I think that's why we're on just a little bit of a dip.
Well, one thing that intrigued me and alarmed me a little bit, though, Simon, is that, yes, we know it's a difficult situation. He's had a premature birth to deal with, so he's gone back to Argentina, and you wish that to be resolved to everybody's benefit, don't you? And it's a difficult situation, no doubt about it. But there doesn't seem to be any indication of how long it might last. There's no deadline for a return. It's just he's gone back because of his wife giving a premature birth. End of the story.
The more worrying thing for me in terms of Tevez is that it's clear that he needs to play to keep his fitness levels up. If you speak to anybody at the club, they'll tell you he's not a dedicated trainer. Keeps his fitness levels up by playing. And that's why he's been done so well for City this season, because he's been playing games regularly and he's kept his fitness levels up. The worry is, what is he doing while he's back in Argentina? Obviously, he's got to look after his wife and his baby daughter first, but what physical condition will he be in when he comes back?
We've got a situation now, Fred. A few weeks ago, we were all skipping because and I know that you were one of them, had great ambitions in terms of the Carling Cup. That's gone by the board. The FA Cup's looking decidedly harder than it was before the 6-round draw.
Yeah.
So that rather puts the pressure on Mancini for that 4th place. And we seem to be doing our best to make a pig's ear of that. Lift my load, Fred.
Well, who is it that's put this pressure on Mancini for 4th place? Is it just generally accepted that Manchester City have to finish in the top 4? Is it deemed failure if we don't? But, because we're still a lot higher than we've been in many seasons, and taking things all round, it's not been a bad season so far, and I know managers live with the pressure, but I feel as though there's just a little bit of extra being heaped on him, whereas, I think we could do with giving him a little bit of extra help if we can, and trying to take the pressure off him, not heap it onto him.
I don't think I'm the only person who thinks there's a fair bit of pressure for that 4th place.
Oh, everyone does.
Yeah.
But I just wish we could just let him get on with it, and let's see where we finish at the end of the season, and then we'll decide whether to put some pressure on him or not.
But you take the money, you take the pressure, don't you, Si?
Well, to be fair, I think even Mancini himself has said that he needs to get 4th place for it to be a successful season. The owners themselves said that the reason they parted company with Mark Hughes was because he was behind schedule on the 70 points they felt he needed to get a 4th place position. So the pressure's definitely there, and I think Mancini, accepts it.
The elephant in the room question, Ian, is, of course, that the name that always comes back cropping up is Mourinho if it does go pear-shaped at the end of the season. Because he looks like he's going to come back to England.
Well, he always seems to show that indication that he is going to come back to England, and there aren't a great deal of clubs who you'd think would be able to attract Mourinho. Perhaps if City could put together an attractive package for him, a great deal of money to spend, of course, and he's a name, really, that could attract players and obviously build City into a bigger team. And do you realistically see Mourinho coming in as a City manager in the future, Simon?
Well, I mean, he's been mentioned with Liverpool. He's been mentioned as a possible successor to Alex Ferguson. The one thing City can give him that Jose Mourinho likes is a lot of money to spend in the transfer market. He did well, he bought top players at Chelsea. Can Liverpool offer him that? I don't think so, with the owners that they've got. And everybody knows about United's financial position at the moment, so it's a similar scenario there as well.
You say the same, Fred?
I possibly would if I was pushed, but I'm going to carry on the same vein as I was a few seconds ago. By supporting the manager, I really think that just adds more pressure on talking about a new manager when we've only had the current manager in since Boxing Day. So in any walk of life, I always find it a little bit embarrassing talking about somebody's job when the incumbent is still there. You know, it'd be the same if we were talking about another presenter.
Of course,
And here you, a nice lad, and we've had a good time, and then I go over there and start talking. I not tell you, I knew he was a good presenter that could come in.
No, but I accept exactly what you're saying, Fred.
It's not as good as you. It's not as good as you.
But if you reach the stature that City are aspiring to, if any job is even under the slightest consideration, Mourinho is the name in the frame. So that's why it keeps cropping back up, doesn't it?
So you're pushing me right to the edge.
No,
now.
but you read the papers.
Yeah.
He writes in the papers. And at some stage this week, you will say, Jose Mourinho linked with Manchester City.
But is that right?
I personally don't think it's right, but
Right.
it will happen, won't it?
Yeah, so...
We'll blame him. You say it now.
It's your
Simon.
fault.
Jose Mourinho wants to come back to England.
Yes.
He stated that himself.
Yes.
Which clubs can he go back to? Chelsea?
No.
No. Liverpool, again, the money situation. United, when is Alex Ferguson going to step down? Arsenal? No. There's only one.
Not unless Arsene Wenger moves somewhere else.
And the thing is, if somebody like Jose Mourinho comes up and you've got that chance to get him, do you take it?
You heard it here first. Sunday Mirror.
Do you believe him?
I'm not sure what to believe.
Listen, I'm not saying that Jose Mourinho is going to Manchester City. What I am saying is that if Jose Mourinho became available, then City would be foolish not to look at him as an option. If the Roberto Mancini situation has not worked by the end of the season.
And we're saying not worked by general consensus, finishing below fourth.
Yes.
It's a hard life, isn't
It is, Fred, but that's the pressure that comes with being a City manager now. There's no getting away from that,
Right.
is there?
I'll take that. I'll take that as the guideline, and I just hope that between now and the end of the season, he finishes fourth.
Well said, that man.
Just before we go to the break, do you think, as you know, obviously from a City perspective, that stability can be just as an important a thing at the moment if City are going to strive for future success?
Even more so, it'd be 3 managers in 12 months. That can't be good for any organisation. And obviously, if it was a disaster, you just have to bite the bullet, and it'd have to be 3 managers. But if it can be possibly avoided, I'd prefer to avoid it at all costs and give the man a real crack at the whip.
Well said, Fred. Time now for a quick break. Remember, we do want to hear from you, so drop us a line today at channelm.co.uk.